Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. Today is September 2nd. Glad you guys are here. So I was just saying how we are in a business that uses a triangle model. And at the top of that triangle is your martial art. Whatever you teach, you teach. We assume you're good at it. And what's interesting is any membership-based business fits into this model, which is why we've also had the opportunity to help yoga studios, fitness studios, martial arts studios, fencing academies, anyone that puts someone on a membership. This business model works magnificently. The biggest struggle karate guys have is we never learned how to run a business. We just learned our martial art and figured, well, since we're good at it, people want to come train with me. And there's a few that will, no matter what. But once you sign a lease, an obligation, you're now in business and you need to run your business by the numbers, which is why the second point of that triangle is your operations and procedures. And the third part of that triangle is your marketing and sales. And all three of those points need to be working together for you to really grow and thrive. I don't want to just depend on one component. I want to have a business that allows me to have the freedom of choice. All right. Uh, I want to be able to buy back my time. I want to be able to provide careers for others. I want to have something that is meaningful, that provides real value at all levels. So with that being said, this call is a Q&A for anyone and everyone in our free group, our paid group. Anyone can bounce in here and ask a question, and we'll give you an honest answer. So fire away. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand, turn on your camera, or just type it out in the comment section, in the chat. Whatever works for you, we're here to help. So Tim Lucas, I appreciate you having your camera on. Much more fun than just talking to a screen.
Yeah. Hey,
What?
excuse me one second, if you don't mind. I'm going to sign off because somehow I'm on here twice
Oh,
and I got like
okay.
a big echo with you.
You
So
got it.
look for me to come back in a minute.
You got it, sir.
See if that helps.
Question I have, sir. Any ideas you guys normally do for back to school marketing?
We are currently putting out rack cards that have back to school marketing. We are also asking all of our parents to share it to their Facebook and Instagram to let their friends know that we have our 2-week trial for $20. And here's the card. We have a whole bunch of parents who are taking a picture of the front and back of that rack card and sharing it to their profile. We're putting them in businesses. We're visiting schools. We're reaching out through email to the schools to let them know that we have class school talks available to help their kids have the best success for this school year. And we also are running booths at every opportunity we can find, and our regular Facebook and Instagram marketing that never stops. Yeah. So, in fact, some of our staff, even last weekend, they just went out and put flyers. They went really old school. They went out and put flyers on cars. You know what I mean? So there's so many things that you can do, and you don't have to do them all. Just realize the more things you do, the more results you get. But yeah, the young lady, the woman I just spoke with earlier today, she just got Roman's Facebook marketing deal up and running. And for this month, which is what today's day 2, she has 6 leads already. Now, are they all going to be good leads? Of course not. But that is a shortcut.
Yeah. And for like seasonal promotions, it's the same core offer. Like we do a 2-week trial for $20. But around the school time, that turns into our back to school special.
Yeah.
2 weeks for $20. And then around Thanksgiving, it'll be Thanksgiving themed or Black Friday themed, Christmas themed, New Year themed, but it's still that 2-week for $20 trial. Plus we do a free uniform, but that's how you can keep it fresh throughout the different seasons during the year.
Yep. Thank you, sir. So, Tim Lucas, we're in a brand new month. What's the number one area you would like to improve based on last month?
Yeah, getting new students to come in would be my number one thing to
Uh-huh.
go with. And then I guess number two for me, based on, I don't know what's been happening, but getting them to come back, I guess, for that second or that free class for the 2 weeks.
Okay, so let's dive into that because a lot of times people think, oh, I just need more leads. And oftentimes it's not that we need more leads. We might just need to handle the leads differently, right? So, for example, when a lead comes in, what do we do first? What are you currently doing? If I call you or walk into your studio, what's the what procedure? What are we doing with them? Like, for example, if you were to call or walk in, I'm gonna collect the 20 bucks for the 2 week trial.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, what are we doing when you get a lead? How are we handling them? For example, if I have someone that calls or walks into one of the studios, we're going to have a short discussion to sell them a 2 week trial and come back and take a tour and orientation lesson. Are we doing
Sure.
that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Same thing. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So we're selling the 2 week trial, first point of contact.
Yes.
Okay. Now they come in for their tour and orientation. Are they leaving with a membership?
No. No.
And the reason would be,
Well, I guess. Well, first of all, let me back up a little bit here. So I've been with you guys a couple months, but I
yep.
really haven't done a lot. So I'm
Okay.
counting today as hitting the restart button.
Cool.
So in
Hey, I
my
appreciate your
prior
honesty.
experience, what's that, sir?
I said, I appreciate your honesty. Thank you.
Well, yeah. So I'm hitting the reset button, and I'm not 100% familiar with, all you guys' strategies and philosophies. I have never
Mhm.
in my past signed people up on that first day. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I've
Yep.
always sent them home with how to earn their white belt for kids, which would
Okay.
be active self-discipline and memorize the student creed.
Okay.
And
So
they come back.
let me pause you right there because this is for everyone's benefit on the call. What I
Okay,
just heard was I'm going to make you jump through some fiery hoops. In other words, create a bottleneck before you even become a member.
okay,
Right?
yes,
And
sir.
so part of what I want to do is with everybody, and you're just kind of volunteering to be my catalyst here, is reshape the way we think about it from a business point of view. Because from a martial art point of view, okay, I understand that makes sense. That's kind of cool. But from a business point of view, it makes zero sense. Imagine well, I can't even come up with a scenario, but I don't want to create a roadblock for you to become a member before you become a member. I want to sign up.
Sure.
I want you to enroll. Now, I might create some stipulations for you to get to the next point, right? It's kind of like, hey, an exaggerated viewpoint of that would be, I'm going to make you pass a belt test before you even sign up to see if you can sign up,
Okay.
right? So right now we're saying, okay, we're not going to roll you on the first visit. You loved it. Now I'm going to make you jump through some fiery hoops before you sign up.
And the thought process, sir, is because they think it adds value to the membership by making
Yeah.
them a scarcity. They have to earn it. And that's just a thought process for your talk, but it's definitely not the truth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's getting in the way. That's one thing that's getting in the way. What happens next? So we're not enrolling them on the first visit. Instead, we're giving them homework.
Correct.
Okay. And then we're hoping they come back, but like you said a minute ago, all too often they just don't come back.
That's why I'm on the call today.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So here's how I want you to think about it a little differently. This is going to be very helpful for you. When a person takes an initial step, whatever it is, I've got to give them a bigger reason to now do the next step. For example, a person does a call in or a walk in, or I call them because of Facebook, whatever it is. We have a conversation that has meaning and has value. I can collect the 20 bucks. I need to collect the $20 because now they have a bigger reason to show up. When they show up, the reason that got them to show up, i.e., our phone conversation, once they break the threshold of your door, your academy, that reason has been spent. Now I got to give them a bigger reason to come back. And making my knuckleheaded kid do some act of discipline where now I'm giving the parent homework also. They're like, ugh, I don't know. I didn't even want to do this. My kid didn't do anything. I forgot about it. I'm just a loser parent, whatever the case may be. They end up not coming back because they didn't do what you told them to. What I got to do is flip that, and instead of giving them an assignment to come back, I got to give them a bigger reason to come back, and that bigger reason is going to be because they just signed on a membership. Does that make sense? So what I want
Yeah,
to do,
that's making sense.
if you look at our 7-step enrollment process, when they first come in, I want them to have a unique experience, something they've never experienced before. I want to double down on the phone conversation we had in terms of what are they looking for, why is it important to them, and what would they like their child to become, right? And then from there, I apologize, folks. I've got to take this call. Master Likes, maybe you can take it from there for just a moment, please.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the key, Tim, is just making sure you follow all those 7 steps, because when you miss one of those steps, as far as finding out who the decision maker is, confirm the appointments, it just makes that sign up much more difficult. That's what I've always noticed in these trainings I've done. You just got to make sure you make the cake the right way with all the ingredients. So step
Sure. So
one, of
on
course,
the
is
I'm
the
sorry, on the
7-step
7
enrollment
steps,
process.
is the phone script in the 7 steps then?
Yes, yeah. Well, there's
Okay.
7-step enrollment, and then there's actually the phone call procedure also.
Okay.
But that just sets everything up, because it kind of deals with all the objections you're going to run into in advance, and what happens when you miss one of them. Example, forget to confirm that both decision makers are going to be there. That objection usually comes up. So this just will save you a lot of time, and it really preps people, so when they come in, they're prepared to enroll in their first class. So I would
Sure.
definitely start by memorizing that,
Okay.
getting it embedded in your brain. The phone call, my order would be obviously is use enrollment's marketing program, step 1, because if you don't get people to the door, nothing else works. Step 2 is the phone call, and then step 3 would be the introductory procedure. Roman, do you want to add anything
Okay.
to that?
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna share my screen, but it looks like let's see if I can get that approval. There we go. Cool. Awesome. So just to kind of show some proof as to this whole hypothetical system working, inside the members group, we have Elise Reed. She just joined. She got her first sale with the new outcome-based and trial script. You can see in here, she got a family intro, whole family signed up, $600 down with a monthly at 447. They haven't taken a class yet. So that's before a single class. It's already working. And inside this members group, what she used to get this done was the trial sales phone dialogue right here, and then the 7-step enrollment right off the back of it. So
Okay.
these 2 modules have everything you need to get that going. And then, of course, if you want the marketing, if that's not up and running, that's all in here too, inside the
Or
members
short
group.
advertising course. Okay.
Yep. So 1, 2, 3. And then those are the 3 things she did 1 step at a time. And
Okay.
3 days ago, got that first sale with it.
Okay. Perfect. Now, also
Yep. It's
another
just,
two other quick questions, if I could. So,
yep.
Roman, I believe, I don't know, a couple months ago, you had a call with a guy that took his school, I'm thinking from 5,000 to 20,000. And I think you interviewed him. Do you remember that?
A couple months
Is,
ago, we
my
were talking.
question is there a recording on that? Do you know what date that recording would be? I know it's probably asking a lot to pull that off the top of your head, but
Yeah, so that was a conversation I had with my dad who just took that phone call. He opened up the new club location. They went from 0 to 20,000 in the first 3 months there.
okay. And is that a recording on there somewhere from the steps that he did?
Let's see, there should be. I'll take a look for that
I mean, you
before
can
we
look and fire me
studio.
a text later or something like that if you want to.
Yeah, I'll throw it in the members group there just so that everyone can go back and take a look at it because I think that might be useful.
Okay. And then one other question, and then Richard, you can jump back in there. So, what's the easiest way to collect the $20 up front? So I get a lead. I'm at home, sitting in my living room. You schedule an intro, and I'm sure this is in the phone script. But we pay for our intros up front. How are you going to pay for that? And what is the best way to do that?
Yeah,
Is there like a
again,
quick
you're
way?
building such value in it, so you're going to avoid any of these obstacles of people not wanting to do it. So it's making sure you follow those initial steps so you don't run into the thing, and just ask for it. But getting confidently asking for it's going to be the key. But the first key, like I said, you got to follow those initial steps because you're building so much value in this introductory procedure. They're going to easily give you your credit card to pay the $20.
Yeah. So just ask for the credit card over the phone then and
Yeah,
punch it in.
Exactly.
are you asking for payment method? Like, what's the easiest way to like collect the money for it, or what's the easiest way to ask for it?
Easiest way to collect the money. I'm sure I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna have a problem asking for it because this is
yeah,
what we do, but
yeah,
so then it's just I click on my system and they read me their credit card number over the phone, or is there like I'm a baby boomer, so I'm an old man, so forgive me, but I mean, is there like an Apple Pay or something like that
No,
that's
no, they're
easier
just
to do?
no, just going to give it to you. And 90%,
Okay,
99% of situations, if you follow that script of creating value, finding out what they want, why they want it, and just confidently asking for it, you'll get it. It's no big deal.
okay, okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something that's easier.
Yeah, no, that's good. I apologize for that. One of our AC units went out, and
Yeah.
that's been a bit of a fiasco this morning because I'm having to replace the. Anyway, enough about that.
Another reason why we need to make money. So we run into those challenges, we can handle it. It doesn't put us out of business. It happened to
Absolutely.
be our AC, our heating went out in the middle of the winter in New York.
Ooh, ooh.
20K, and they couldn't do it because of the ice for a month. So we turned the water on real low so the pipes wouldn't freeze. And I'm like, kids are used to being outside. We must have lost 20 pounds of our instructors because we just trained all day when we were at the studio to stay warm. But
Nice.
our landlord said, I'm not paying for it. And I was able to put the 20K up and pay for it. Dealt with it, got half of it back later. But this is why you got to make money, guys, because you're going to run into these challenges. You got to have money to deal with these challenges you're going to run into.
Hmm. So I'm not sure what I missed, but yeah, I got to get the 20 bucks on the phone for them to show up. When they show up, I'm going to get them on a membership so they have a bigger reason to come back. And I think at the first point of entry, you want to make that barrier so low. I don't want to give them homework. Well, you have to go home and prove to me that you want to give me money. Heck no. Give me the money. Now let's help your child grow into the kid that you want instead of the kid that you have. And that's something we kind of tongue in cheek talk about all the time is every parent out there loves their child, but the kid they have is not the kid they want. Right? And why is that true? Because every parent wants more for their kid, period. It's easy. So, what we have to get really good at is following the dialogue that helps uncover what it is they're looking for. What difference would it make? Why is that important? Now, let me demonstrate it through this orientation lesson. And now, if it looks like they'll be a good fit for our academy, let me explain the membership and help you save money for enrolling today. So there's some levers that I got to prove you can do it. I got to prove you might get pretty good at it. And I got to prove that I'm the one for you. Okay. Now, once that's done, we'll explain the membership, explain how we don't need to wait 2 weeks. We use the 2 week trial to see if you'll be a good fit for the academy and if you're ready to join classes. Well, you know what? Congratulations, you're in. Now, let me go ahead and help. We're going to go ahead and help you save money by just getting started today. And I already told them on the telephone. The last piece of the phone dialogue is, hey, Mrs. Smith, I got to tell you, most of our families know on their very first visit if it's a good fit. And if it is, well, we will review the memberships and help you save money by just getting started right away. Okay. So I've already planted the seed. I've already told her, hey, we're going to talk about the membership. That is a key component because I don't want to create upset. The number one reason for upset is unmet expectation, and that's our fault. All too often, we think the person can read our mind and they can't. So we have to get better at communication. Tell them what to expect, tell them what they have to look forward to, and then follow through. So now, since I did that on the telephone, now when they come in, if it looks like they will be a good fit, let them know and then present the membership and then figure out the money. That initial investment needs to be big enough for you to be able to discount it heavily for enrolling today. For example, our main presentation is for the entire family to enroll. So for a family to get started, typically there's an initial investment of $690. However, since we now know we don't need to use the 2 weeks, we can apply that as a savings. And for your whole family, that's worth 250 bucks. So we're going to save you $250, but I'm so confident this is the right choice. Heck, I'm going to match that savings. So for enrolling today, instead of 690, it's only going to be 190 bucks. How does that sound? That sounds pretty good. And then for the tuition, well, we break it up into however many installments you want to break it up into. And it doesn't need to be 12, rest assured. Now it could be, but if I start there, I've got nowhere to fall back to. For example, our single monthly rate would be 249. But if they do it in 6 payments, that's 498. But if it's for a family, it's what? 996. So then for the tuition, we break into 6 installments for 996. And then the second half of your membership, there's no tuition due. And that's good for the whole family. Let's get started. And what you'll find is 4, maybe 5 out of 10 will go, okay. At first, people are like, holy cow, they said yes. Okay, good. Now, if they say anything other than yes, fall back. Hey, don't worry. You know what? Let's do this. Instead of 6 installments, let's break it into 9 installments. Then it's only going to be a Y. And they go, oh, well, I don't know if I can do that either. Well, then I don't want to let the money get in the way of what matters most, and that's helping families like yours. So let's do this. Let's take that to and break it across 12 equal payments of just 498. Would that work for your family? And they'll say things like, oh, you'll do that for me? Yes, ma'am. We're here to help. Well, thank you.
Who is that?
I don't know. Does that make sense, Mr. Lucas?
Yes. Yes.
But you do have to role play and rehearse this a little bit to get good at not knowing what to say. That's easy. You can read it and memorize it. But you want to practice saying it so you practice the delivery of it.
Now, quick question.
Yes, sir. Go.
So on your enrollment there, you just went over
Yeah.
the money and everything and the 6 payments. If they're going to do 6 payments and they say, well, that doesn't work with me. And you say, how about 9 payments? Do you have all of that in your head or are you just punching that in on a calculator?
I would not use a calculator. I would have it written out, but I've done it so many times, it's just in my head. Yes.
Okay. So the goal would be to have that in my head. So if I
Well,
start out with 6
it'll
payments,
happen automatically. But right now,
yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
on our presentation sheet, it'll say 690 and 6 times 996. And then I'll just cross it out and say, okay, well, here, let's do this. Now you can do that a number of ways. And to be honest, how you do that part really doesn't make the biggest difference. It's just how confidently and calmly, and can you be calm, cool, and collected? Like, look, and if you're presenting a single membership, well, then the initial investment is only this I don't have memorized because we always start with the family and then we fall back. They go, oh, I don't know. Well, my first question is, are we considering it for the whole family or just for Timmy? Oh, it's just for Timmy. Oh, well, in that case, everything's just half price. Like, what? So yeah, that initial investment's only $95. That's easy, right? Well, yeah. Okay. And then this 996, instead of 6 payments of 996, it's only 498. We could do that for you. And if they say, oh, well, I can't, that's too much still. Well, then let's break into 12 payments. That makes it only 249. We're here to help.
Now, do you present a paid in full?
Only after they have signed on the line that is dotted. I do not want to give them a secondary consideration. I want to give them clear direction. And the first direction before I can do anything else is to get them enrolled. Now that you've enrolled, now I can put it on sale. So our strategy is sign them up, pitch the family, fall back to the single, put it on sale, give it away. So after they've signed on the line that is dotted, we'll let them know, hey, now Mrs. Smith, now that you are our newest member, there is a way to save a lot of tuition on this membership. May I explain? Of course. Well, anytime a family can do a single payment instead of all these monthly installments, we're able to extend you a 20% savings. That's huge. In fact, on this membership, it's going to save you about $500 or whatever the number is for you. And so the balance would just be X, Y, Z. Would you like to use the same card or is there a different card you'd prefer? Sometimes families use a card that gives them miles or points or some kind of reward. What would you prefer? So even the way you ask the question matters. I don't want to ask them a question, would you like to give me more money? No. But if I ask the question, hey, look at this big fat savings. Would you like to use the same card or maybe a different card to take care of the balance and save the money? People love to save money. Now, if they say, no, we can't do that right now, okay, no problem. I tell you what, we're going to take a picture and we're going to schedule your first lesson. But first, let me just tell you this. The number one way to best support your child getting started in this new endeavor, that's why they're there, is to get on the mat with them. I know you said no to the membership. That's fine. But I would like to gift you the next 30 days for free, no strings attached, to simply help your kid get started. Will you do it? Here, stand up. Let me see what size uniform you need. And if they stand up, you got them. They're yours. And if they say, no, 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 okay, no problem. I'll tell you, let's come take a picture. We'll schedule your first class. I don't have to get them to do it. I just have to offer it. Make sense?
Mhm.
Now
And you're
the cool thing is half of our staff started their martial art journey that way.
Tim, that was a bunch of golden nuggets. I study some of the top sales trainers in the country, and you've seen such an utter sincerity in how he said it. It came off like he really cared about the person. But he also had the absolute certainty example about having the parents start. Hey, this is how you're going to support your child. And then the certainty of let's stand up, let's see what uniform that's going to fit you. Getting those tonalities and that spirit of helpfulness is going to make your job so much easier.
And that's why, like even with our staff training, we spend a lot of time just role playing and practicing the delivery of what we want to say is one thing. How we deliver that message is what makes a big difference. So I would say moving forward, Master Lucas, moving forward, sell them the trial. When they come in, put them on a membership. Say, hey, you know what? We're going to go through our tour and orientation. And if it looks like everything is a go, well, we'll help you save money for enrolling today. Let's get started. I mean, it can be that simple. Take them to a tour orientation lesson. Our goal is to meet someone at the front door. And the next 45 to maybe at most 60 minutes later, they're going to leave with a membership and a uniform. And I don't mean a 1 month membership. I mean a Greenbelt program. Something that has real value that amps them up for what it is they get to become. And that's the difference. We're not selling an activity. We're not selling what they get to do. We're selling who they get to become. And that's worth a lot of money. Activities are cheap. I do not want to be in the same alignment with soccer, baseball, basketball. That's an activity. This is something that could shape the direction of your child's future, right? So I'm going to talk about what that's why I like the PA, the student PA talks about what would you like to see your child improve in? Why is that important to you? What would be different if they had that level of confidence today? I've got to get into the emotional components of it so that it creates real value versus, oh, look, your kid's going to have fun kicking and punching. And if you quit, you have a cool costume for Halloween. Forget that. That's cheap. I want to sell an outcome, and what I need to find out is the outcome you're looking for. And then my lesson is going to be geared around that. The lesson, what we do physically, the lesson never changes. But what I talk about will be geared towards what you said you wanted. If you want better discipline, I'm gonna have that kid snap into attention. Let me hear a loud, yes, sir, eyes straight ahead. Look at that, mom. That's how we start to develop the discipline you were looking for. Mom's like, holy cow, this is the best thing I've ever done. And most importantly, we didn't even address this yet, but most importantly, that's why the mom or the dad or the parents have to be on the mat during the intro. If you're letting your parents sit on the sidelines and watch, it's a mistake. And again, it comes down to the phone dialogue. If I got to tell them on the phone, this is an all play. Wear something loose enough to move around in. You're gonna have a lot of fun. It won't be anything too strenuous, I promise. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna have a great time. Well, it's just for my kid. Of course it is. But for the first lesson, the best way to support your kid is by going through the tour and orientation with them. It's gonna be fun. Okay. And they go, oh, okay. Now, what I'm really doing is giving them time to prepare. They're going to show up wearing the right clothing. If it's a woman, they're going to have their toenails however they want them. They're not going to come in there and be embarrassed. They're not going to wear socks with holes in them. I've got to let them know in advance what to look forward to so they come in prepared to do it. Now, when they come in, here's where we all stow our shoes. Here's how we enter the mat. Come on, let's do it together. It's everything is together, together, together. Because even if they don't enroll on the membership, I still want to make them my student. If you're in the building, you are my student in some capacity. And by having the parent, so I'll line up here, the kid is in front of me, and the parent or parents is behind the kid because I'm connecting with the parent about her kid. It's not me making a connection with the kid. It's me demonstrating to the parent how we're going to have an impact on this child's future. Because she told me what she needs to see to sign up. We already talked about what she needs to see to sign up. Now let's get out here on the floor together. Let me demonstrate my ability to modify your child's behavior in an instant. And now I'm looking at mom going, do you see that, mama? This is how we're going to do what you talked about. And mom's like, holy cow, we're in. And she's not able to sit on the sideline. If you let them sit on the sidelines, they are judging. And they are judging their child and they're judging you. And in my opinion, neither one of those are healthy. I want you out here on the floor. I want you saying, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. I want you yelling loud. I want you being part of it. Because number one, that's how we get more parents to enroll. They realize, oh, I can do this and it's pretty fun and I can do it with my kid. Cool. And number two, it allows them to become a student versus that judgmental parent because that kid's going to goof up a little bit. I don't care. If you have him do a certain kick, he's going to do it wrong. There's something he's going to do wrong during that intro. And if they're on the sidelines, they're going, oh, geez, he's not going to be any good at this either. It's going to be just like baseball. But if they're out there on the mat doing it with them, they realize, oh, this is something we can, it just changes their perspective. So the parent has to be on the mat with the kid and not next to them. I don't want them being distracted looking at their kid. I want them paying attention to me about their kid. Pardon me. Does that make sense, sir?
Yes, sir. Makes sense. I got a question though.
Well-
Excuse me for my ignorance, but you mentioned you like the PA so much.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes, that is in the group. It's a new future student personal analysis, PA. The top portion of it is where you get their name, address, phone number, and they sign off to release liability. And the bottom 2/3 of it is digging deep into why they're there and what they need to see to enroll.
And
fact,
they do that when they come in to the school,
Yes,
correct?
that's correct. Before
Okay.
we get started on the tour and orientation. In fact, the last question on there is actually, if approved for membership, is there anyone else? Are you able to make the decision to enroll today? And they circle yes or no. And if they circle no, we're going to talk about it. Oh, I see you circled no on here. Tell me about that. Well, we just don't like to jump into anything too quickly. Oh, okay. Well, I think we misunderstood. This question is, are you the ones to make the decision or is there somebody else involved? Oh, no, it's just me. It's just me. Oh, okay. Well, then let's make that a yes. But sometimes, well, yeah, grandma and grandpa are going to pay for it. We're not going to talk about the money today. We're going to do the lesson and we're going to schedule time where grandma and grandpa can be there too so we can do it again. I want to tee this up for success. I don't want to do I'm not rolling the dice at the craps table. I want to tee this up for success. And we're not going to be in a hurry.
And where again is the personal analysis on the website?
Roman, can you help with that?
Yeah, I'll go through and show right now.
Perfect.
Come on, Roman, share screen, bud.
There we go. So yeah, and so the Black Belt group, if you go to classroom right here, you
Okay.
scroll down, it'll be the personal analysis right inside
Got it.
here. We have
Perfect. Simple
two
enough. I can
videos.
figure that out.
Yeah, we got the workbook, then we have a template so you can make like your own version for it for your school and put your logo on it and everything like that.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No problem.
The PA, in fact, the PA is so powerful, guys, that given the choice of only being able to do one item, the PA or the lesson, I'll choose the PA every time.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people we've enrolled just from having a conversation using the PA, because the PA is what creates the emotional impact of what this helps your child become. The lesson is only about 8 to 10 minutes long, and that's just to reinforce what they told you they need to see. So if I can only do the lesson or the PA, I'll take the PA every time. Because the lesson by itself, again, just shows an activity. But the lesson piggybacked on the PA, now you're showing the proof that this is going to do what they just said they needed to have done. Whether it's confidence, discipline, focus, I'm going to use that little lesson segment, not to teach you martial arts, to get you ready to learn martial arts. And I'm going to use that as a demonstration to your mom or your mom and dad of how we're going to get that discipline, focus, or confidence. But the PA is a vital component to making your job easier and creating value and getting people to enroll on their first visit. All right. Well, Uh, Tim Lucas, this has been a great training call for you, and hopefully everyone else got something else out of it as well. But I'm curious, what are your biggest takeaways from this call, sir?
Well, I got to do some studying, that's for sure. Some self
Okay.
study, and
Okay.
get this figured out. And then after that, role play, of course. I
Yep.
mean, I
Yep.
don't think I'm too far off. But one other quick question: so your family membership is first two people pay, everybody else free?
Yes. Now, if you don't have a whole lot of students and you do have a whole lot of space, I would run with that. As you start to run out of
Okay.
space, you can, what we currently do is the first two are regular price each, and the next two are free.
Okay.
And then after that, they're half price.
Okay. Yeah. If they have 7 kids or whatever, something
Yeah.
like that.
But
Okay. Sounds good.
until we filled up the academy, we just made it easy. We're like, hey, our family membership is times two, the rest of the family is included for free.
Sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got to remember, activity creates activity, and having an empty mat does you no good. Having a big empty room hurts more than it helps because you cannot provide the social proof that this is the place to be. Someone tells you, "Oh, this is the best restaurant in town." You show up on Friday night at 7:30 and it's crickets. You're gonna second guess it. But
Yeah.
you
Might
show
not
up
even
Friday
go in.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the
Yeah.
proof? If this is such a good place, why aren't people here? And that's another reason why you want to compress the schedule to have full classes. No, full classes are more fun, but equally important, full classes provide the social proof that this is the place to be. Yeah. So there is a workbook for that in there as well on how to decide. Like for example, the woman I was on the call with earlier, she currently has, I think, 25 classes a week, but she has 100 students, and her workout training space can fit 40. So we use the workbook equation. If you want everyone to come to class 2 times a week and offer 200 lessons, if you can teach 40 people at a time in a group lesson, a full class, 80% is 32. How many classes a week do you really need to offer? 4. And that kind of freaked her out a little bit. And I said, I'm not saying you need to cut your schedule down to 4 classes today, but we need to start moving towards that direction because right now that tells me your average class size is like, 3 to 8 people. It means you have a lot of empty space. And she goes, yeah, Friday night we had 2 people. Friday night they had one class that only had 2 people in it. Oh yeah, you're losing money. You're losing money teaching that class. And more importantly, you're not creating the time to work on your business because you're too busy delivering service. You're working on the busy instead of the business. I'd rather use that time to talk to a family about their membership. I'd rather use that time to call leads and schedule appointments. There's only so many hours in the day. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. If there's not any other questions, we're going to go ahead and sign off. And hey, great call. And Tim, thanks for being an eager participant. I appreciate that, sir.
Well, I got to
Meanwhile,
learn. That's going to be here.
what's that?
I said I got to learn, so I'm glad to be here. And like I said, trying to hit that restart button. I'm trying to move some stuff around to be here, but I made it, and hopefully you guys will see me a little bit more.
I love
Then
it.
I'm sure I'm going to need some help from Roman on some Facebook stuff and
Yeah.
my lead generating follow up system. So hopefully you guys seem like a great group of guys, very helpful. So hopefully you'll see me a little bit more.
Yes, sir. All right,
Love it.
guys. Everyone have a great day. Have a great week, and we'll see you. Oh, go ahead, Roman.
I was gonna say I just dropped in the free group a little inflation calculator if you want to see if it's time to raise tuition based on keeping up with inflation. So that's just a little
Yeah.
bonus I just threw in the group there.
That is, yeah, punching your numbers on that calculator. I think you will be startled and surprised. It's pretty interesting. Also, before we sign off, we do have the event in Jacksonville that you guys can come and check out, and it's going to be amazing. There'll be a post about it in the group a little bit later. And if any of you guys that can make it out, it will be worth its weight in gold. Okay. All right. So everybody have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.